Thank you, everybody, especially for your patience. We had a very tragic situation today here in South Haven. At approximately 2:15 today, the Van Buren County Dispatch Center received several 911 calls of an active shooter near our South Beach and our South Pier here in South Haven. Upon arrival, officers attempted to secure the scene. We located witnesses and we located two individuals. I know it was near the South Pier who were deceased. A third individual was located also, a female subject, critically injured, and she is currently at a South Haven area hospital in what I understand is critical condition. Right now, we know that one of the two deceased individuals located at or near the pier was the shooter. Right now, we don't know if there was a motive. We are suspecting that this was random. The shooter did die of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So right now, we have exhausted any search of the water. We had some assistance from dive teams, Marine Patrol units. We are confident at this time that there is no one else injured. There's no one else in the water. So right now, we believe we have located the three individuals that were either deceased or injured. Our top priority right now is attempting to identify the deceased man and the female at the hospital. That is our top priority right now, to get them positively identified so we can then notify family. So right now, that is why I'm not going to release any potential names or possible names, because we do want to get everybody positively identified, because my top priority whenever someone is deceased or seriously injured, the family needs to be notified before they hear it anywhere else. So that is what we're working hard on right now. And I appreciate your patience. Early on, I talked to a few of you. Pretty early on, we could determine that there was no public safety threat. And I need to work on getting that out quicker. But you all, I really appreciate your help on getting that word out. So it is still being actively investigated. There's still officers at the pier and the beach area. But at this point, we're still checking with area hospitals. We're confident that there are no other victims. So right now, we're really attempting to identify the deceased individual and the person that's at the hospital in Kalamazoo. So anyone with information, please call the South Haven Police Department. Once again, we are fortunate. We are getting tons of information from the community, videos, cell phones, any information. I've got two officers in right now who are just fielding calls, information. Again, if you don't think it's important, but it might be, please air and call us. So again, we really appreciate all the assistance from you guys and the community. And later this evening, I will definitely provide an update, and I will be able to at least release the name of the shooter, the individual involved in this. I think that's important information that everyone needs to know. That's pretty much what I have so far, but there may be questions I can answer if you guys have any. If I can't answer them, I'll let you know, but if I can, I'd be certainly happy to give it a try.
Can you talk about how unsettling it is that this could have been a random act?
Yes, and I can tell you from experience, random acts of violence of this nature, at least in this area, are very rare. Unfortunately, we've had not very many murders, but we've had some serious incidents in this area, and they've been either related or the suspect knew the victim. So it is rare overall to have random acts of violence, and it is very unsettling. And from what I can tell right now, this is looking like it was random. So it's very unusual, especially for our area. But overall, these types of incidents they're very disturbing.
Could you talk about also how concerning it was that it was in, the middle of the day as well as a very nice Friday afternoon?
Yes, and South Haven is unique, especially in the summer. Our downtown and beaches are always packed. Children, visitors, people enjoying our beaches. So it was particularly very tragic today. I will say it is very unfortunate that an individual has died and another is in critical condition. We're fortunate that there weren't more people injured because it's a beautiful day. Our beach and pier, it was very busy. So it's very fortunate that this wasn't worse than it was, because obviously the potential was there.
Did you hear a report about a jet ski possibly getting shot?
Yes, and we did have an individual on a jet ski who called us, and his jet ski was struck, I believe, by at least one bullet. We actually have that here. We're going to be processing that. The good news is that the driver of that jet ski was not injured. So yes, there was a jet ski that was also hit by one of the rounds, but luckily that individual was not injured.
Do you believe the victims knew each other potentially, or are they from the area?
Right now, and this is very, very preliminary, we don't believe that the victims knew the shooter. Like I said, this is very preliminary, and that is what we're really focused on right now, the identities of everybody, but it is really looking like this was random, so don't believe that the shooter knew the people he was shooting at.
But did the victims know each other? Did the two shoot?
That is very important, and that is what we're really working on. We believe they may have known each other. We've got a lot of video footage that has been forwarded to us, and in reviewing that, it looks like those individuals may have appeared to be together. So we are thinking those two people did know each other, yes.
Do we have any age ranges of the victims or the shooter?
I really don't have that. I don't have dates of birth. I can give you gender. The shooter was a male individual. The deceased male was a male, and then the individual in Kalamazoo right now in critical condition is a female. I apologize, I don't have ages right now, so I don't really want to guess.
Can you describe the shooter? What did they look like?
I did not see him. I was at the scene. By the time I got there, he was covered, and I did not physically see him, so I really can't provide a description right now.
Do you know about how many shots were fired?
And that is also something I don't know. That was part of why we had the area secured, not just to try and locate other victims, but also to locate and secure any evidence. We do have the Michigan State Police Crime Lab, who I believe are on scene before I left. And then we also have the Michigan State Police. It's an accident reconstruction unit that has drone capability, and that can also help fly an area to help locate maybe evidence that is hard to see, by land. So we are still working on that right now, and I think at a later time we'll be able to affirmatively determine how many shots were actually fired. If there was more than one gun, obviously we know there was one gun. So we are working right now to find out if maybe this individual had more than one gun. That I don't know. But that is why we're still securing the area to look for evidence that can help us, make sure we know maybe how many rounds were fired or exactly more what happened.
What would you want the public to know who might be coming down to South Haven tonight?
Right. So what I want to say is that the responding officers did a great job immediately in securing the scene. As you'll notice, we didn't close down the whole beach. North Beach stayed open. So I can tell you as of right now, anyone planning to visit South Haven, this scene is secure. There's no current threat related to what happened today. Um, it's very tragic, but right now, I would just hope it doesn't dissuade people from coming to South Haven. We have a beautiful community. We have very good, very competent police officers here, and like always, we have great support from area law enforcement who were here immediately. I mentioned in my press release on the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department, the Allegan County Sheriff's Department, the Michigan State Police. We had 2 dive teams, Van Buren and Allegan County dive teams. Right here in the city, we have our own technical services department. They were helping our Department of Public Works. So, we're very fortunate to have immediate assistance, even though we're, a smaller department. So we're going to be working through the evening. And like I said, I will for certain provide an update with some more specifics, because I know everyone's worried about maybe how many firearms, how many shots, some of the identities. So we are working hard, and I will be able to provide an update here hopefully very soon.
To be clear, the woman who was shot or injured, was she taken to a South Haven area hospital and then to a Kalamazoo hospital?
Yes. So she was first transported to Bronson, South Haven, and then she was subsequently flown to Kalamazoo area hospital. I believe Bronson, Kalamazoo. That is typically patients will be transported here and assessed, and based on the severity of their injuries, they can be flown out if it's very life-threatening. So she is currently in Kalamazoo Hospital.
Did you find a suspect's vehicle anywhere? And
Yes, we did. So we did locate the suspect's vehicle. It was not at the beach. It was further up into town. We had many officers helping, trying to locate that individual's vehicle as well as the victims. So right now we have located the suspect's vehicle. That is here. We'll be securing that for a search warrant and to process it. And I think right now we are still attempting to locate the victim's vehicle or vehicles. So that is something else that we're currently working on right now.
Can you describe
any
yourself?
witnesses at the beach that saw him walking with the gun, or
Pardon me?
any witnesses on the pier that saw him walking with the gun, like on the pier? Or?
I believe that there are, and like I said, I didn't talk directly, but just the information coming in, I believe we have several witnesses who observed this person on the pier with the gun. I don't know how many we have who actually witnessed the incident, but like I said, I've got 2 officers in the department right now to help gather all the information coming in. So I think we do have very good witnesses, and then also a lot of the video footage has been very helpful too. I mean, unfortunately, it's there for different reasons, but it has really aided in this investigation.
Can you talk about this? First of all, my first question is, do you have a description of the suspect's vehicle? I think that could be helpful for the public to know.
I can tell you, since we have it here, it was a black Ford Focus passenger vehicle. And we do have that here. I don't believe we've gone through it yet, but we have that secured because obviously that'll be part of the investigation to maybe help us figure out if there can be a why this happened.
And then talk about too, this is the beach. This is a place that we have a 4th of July fireworks at and families come to. That's a whole other element on top of this kind of thing being abnormal for South Haven. On top of this being abnormal for South Haven, for it to be
Yeah.
on the beach at the pier, a place where families bring their children.
Exactly. It is, I don't really have words for that. I know people get tired of me saying it, but it is very unusual for South Haven. I've lived and worked here for a very long time, and it is not the norm. And that really motivates this department to do everything we can, besides just solving a case or finding out who's responsible, but for going maybe a little bit further and trying to figure out, okay, maybe could this have been prevented? Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't, but I know with this we're going to be looking a little bit further because we don't want this to become normal in South Haven, because it isn't. And so that makes us work harder to get the message out there. So that's why I think it's important too to get out as much information as we can. Right now I just don't have a lot of the information I know everyone would like to know, but for sure later I will be providing more. And then, yeah, it motivates us to work harder. You should never take for granted safe, peaceful, beautiful community. And it's just a really stark reminder, unfortunately, that it can happen anywhere. But we are working very hard, and at least we can maybe provide some answers as to, who this individual was. I don't know if we can answer the why, but hopefully, we can learn from that, or it can maybe help prevent something like this in the future.
Did anyone help the woman?
Pardon
Did
me?
anyone help the woman who was there? Or
Bystanders, that I don't know. I know the officers were there pretty quickly on the scene, and like I said, we received many calls. It is very common for bystanders to help. I mean, with anything on the beach, it's common if it's water rescue. So I know we were there pretty quickly. I know that the female victim was located fairly quickly, so I'm thinking aid was rendered pretty quickly.
Can you clarify as to how you guys were able to identify the suspect's vehicle?
I believe, I think some information came in, although we didn't positively identify the suspect. We had some possible names of who he may be and maybe what kind of vehicle he may have been driving. So since it was so specific to a black Ford Focus, we kind of we prioritized looking for a black Ford Focus. There were none at the beach, so we just kind of expanded outward into the city a little bit more, and then it was found in a parking lot. So, yeah.
Can you also just clarify one more time as to why you guys think this was random?
Well, because right now we haven't been able to determine any relationship based on what witnesses observed prior to this happening. They didn't appear to be associating at all, and just from information we've had and a lot of the video footage, it didn't appear that there was interaction between the individuals prior to the shooting. So like I said, I can't tell you there absolutely was no relation. I'm just saying right now it's not appearing that there was.
and you said that female was the Shepherd Hospital. Did you know where she might have been hit?
That I do not know. Nope, I don't.
At this time, can you describe the firearm used?
I believe the one that I know of, and like I said, we always look in case there were more, but I believe the one confirmed that we know was used was a handgun.
Has that been recovered?
Pardon me?
Has that been recovered?
I believe one has. But we always look in case there could be more firearms, or whenever you find one gun, it's always good to be thorough and check and make sure there weren't any more weapons of any type, a gun, knives. So we're still continuing to search to locate any other weapons, if there were any. We don't know, but that's part of what's going on right now.
You mentioned there's still authorities out there, so as
Yes.
of right now, is South Pier and the beach open to the public or no?
Half of South Beach is. It's just that area around the South Pier, I believe, is still taped off. I've been up here for a little while, but we just taped off a portion that we believed was part of the crime scene. So half of South Beach is open. It's just that area at the mouth of the pier and the pier. North Beach is still open. I think they temporarily closed down part of North Pier. But other than that, nothing is completely shut down. And like I said, there's no public safety threat related to this incident right now. I'm confident in saying that.
Witnesses told us they might have heard the shooter yelling things on the pier. Is that?
You know, that's possible. I don't know that specifically, but I do know that there were a lot of witnesses, so I'm sure that we'll be able to determine if any comments were made, anything of that nature.